join me from the driver's seat of a 1988 Volvo 240. Now this is one of those cars that I don't think has had a lot of attention, especially on the internet review wise. There's no reviews out there of this style of car, and I wanted to grab a classic, something like this, for the channel. Now this car is pretty special, to be honest. It's had one owner its whole life. It's spent its whole life on the Isle of Wight as well, and it's just ticked over 100,000 miles. So for its age, a 1988 car, and it's had one owner, that's insane to find. So the spec wise with this one, it's just under the top spec. So it has the cloth seats, it has the heated front seats, which is unbelievable to find in an old Volvo at the end of the day. It has power steering, it has power brakes, it has discs all round, it has 2-pot calipers at the front. With this obviously being just over 2 tons, the car needs the good brakes in my opinion. It needs the stopping power. It also has what I would say is climate control. It has 4 different climate sort of warm and cold options down here. It has seatbelt indicators in the front and the back, so a little light will bong up if someone's in the seat and the seatbelt's not on. And as we're driving along, I can feel the heated seat coming on. That's crazy from a 1988 Volvo. So the owner, Dan, actually had a Starlet before this for his first car, the red one that I actually reviewed on the channel. And when it came time to get another car, he wanted a little project. And he drove past this one day and thought, yeah, that's a cool car, I like that. I like the idea that it's an old school Volvo. And he left a note on it to the owner saying, will you sell it? Thankfully, the owner actually got back to him and said, yeah, I'll sell it. They came to an agreement and he bought it straight away. I personally have actually done things like that, where I've seen an old car that I'd absolutely love in my life, left a note on it, and for some unknown reason, the owner hasn't got back to me. So it was great that Dan was able to do that, and he's very enthusiastic about restoring something like this, so it's great that it's in good hands now. The seats in this car are so comfortable. They're very, very nice. One thing I must point out though, this side of the driver's seat is slightly collapsed, but it means you can get a good gangster lean on there. Now don't get me wrong, it's not fast, it's not supposed to be fast though. In the 1980s this was, you know, a luxury barge at the end of the day, tipping over 2 tons in weight, and you know, from the factory around 119 brake horsepower-ish. You know, it's not going to win any medals in any drag races. It's a cruiser this, it's, you know, a nice car. So guys, let's have a quick look around this Volvo 240. I must admit straight away, styling wise, very bricky, but I like this. I like the fact that this is a brick-like car. Now, I know a lot of people would have probably seen these cars in crash tests, and the brick-like styling definitely holds up. It's more like a battering ram when it comes to crashes, these sort of cars. But styling wise, I like it. I like the retro sort of brick-like looks. The bodywork of this car is unbelievable for its age. This is nearly a 30-year-old car. You have no rust on the car. There's no dings. There's no, you know, bangs and stuff. There's no ripples in the paint or the bodywork. So it's held together very, very well, this car. Coming round, it's been lowered 40mm on springs, just enough to make it look a little bit better, ride a little bit better. It's still sat on the Volvo 14-inch steel wheels with brand new tyres. Coming around the back, you have this twin pipe exit exhaust system there. Back box delete. All the boxes are still in the car though, but you have the back box delete, which means it gives a bit more of a rumble to the car, but easily reversible if you wanted to keep this car as a standard car. Coming to the back of the car, you have this huge boot, absolutely massive. Many dead bodies could go in there. You have the original number plates from 1988 on there as well. I do like that there's sort of a chrome sort of bit coming around here, but you have this thick bumper, so if anyone did actually crash into you, you're not scratching your chrome, you're actually just marking this bit of black bumper, which is a very good thing. It means you can bump into people if needs be. But coming inside, it is so clean and tidy in here. There's no wear on the steering wheel, there's no wear on the seats at all, so it's held up very, very well, this car. You have front electric windows here. You have a very, very good sound system as well for the age of the car. Just in the centre here, you have the heating controls, but there's many different modes if you wanted to go through. So cool, temperature, warm, max, minimum, floor, max, all that sort of good stuff. So sort of a climate control sort of feel with that sort of instrument setup. You have the 5-speed manual box just there. You have the heated seats. Yes, heated seats. in this 1988 Volvo. I just love the retro styling though. Everything's sort of boxy, still looks good. I genuinely like it. And another thing to point out, the door handle. You pull it like that, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I think overall this is one of those cars that not a lot of people will understand. It's one of those classics that is very overlooked as well, I think. Something like this is only going to go up in value. And the owner, Dan, has been using this for 6 months every day and he's not had one problem with it. So it's a good testament to how good this car is. The heater is unbelievable. It's got heated seats in it. It starts on the dot every single time, cold or hot weather, any time of the year. And you've got this retro styling of an old school Volvo. I love it. I think it's awesome. So a little first, second and third gear pull for us. It's not fast, it's not supposed to be. Into fourth. We haven't quite cracked the 60 mile an hour yet, but that's not the idea of this car. It's a cruiser, it's just a really, really nice classic car now. And you've got to remember that this is a 1988 car and it drives like a brand new Volvo. It's beautiful to drive this. It's so comfortable and it's a good laugh as well. It's a good laugh to be in. And I like it. I really like this car. It's comfortable and reliable. That's the thing. If you're going to own a classic car, you want it to be reliable. And I think this is it. If you're in the market for a classic car, definitely look these up. Because in my opinion, these are only going to go up in value. Especially one like this with 101,000 miles on it and one owner from new. So what are my overall thoughts on this Volvo 240? Now, I like my classic stuff, don't get me wrong, but there's always a massive drawback with it. And I think this to date has to be the best classic, you know, classic being pre-1990 say, that I've driven. It's comfortable, it's reliable, it's warm, there's heated seats, and it's just really, really nice to drive. It's genuinely nicer than new cars that I've driven. Because that's a testament to how good Volvo is. They are fantastic at making a very, very good car. And I was chatting to Dan, the owner, and he was saying, you know, you can go into any parts store and find something for these cars. So they're easy to get hold of parts, which is the main thing. I think I personally, from my classic car experience, I had a 1966 Cadillac and you couldn't find anything for it. And don't get me wrong, that was an older car and it was a lot less reliable than this, but the fact that you can walk in and still buy stuff for these cars, that's what you want. You want something that, you know, if you need the parts, you can go and get them. I think this will stand the test of time, this sort of car. You know, it was built well to start with. It's not like every other little car that you find these days that are just built to last 10 years. This is 30 years down and it drives like it's brand new, fresh out of the showroom. And that's probably why I like this car so much. It's one of those cars that you would never think of. You never go on the internet to search for, and it's never something that would crop up as a car that you would want. But it's a fantastic car. And it's a shame that it's overlooked so much, and that's what I wanted to sort of do this video, is that this is an overlooked icon in my opinion. The fact that it's so good in crash tests that other cars have completely wiped out the passengers and the driver of this car would be absolutely fine. The fact that it's built so well, the fact that it's stood the test of time to be so reliable that you can start the key in any weather, any conditions, and it will just drive and just be a car. And that's what I think a classic should be about. You should be able to drive it around, and this is one of those cars that you can drive around all day. So guys, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on this old school Volvo. Head over to fydapparel.com and pick up some FYD merch to support the channel, and I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers guys.